Hey, I'm Will and Noble Locksmith, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Car Key Wizard. I'm an automotive locksmith, and while I definitely don't know it all, I have learned some tricks along the way that I hope will help you while you're out in the field. One thing you can do to help me out, though, would be to subscribe to my channel. And if you like my videos, leave a comment or ask a question, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I make a lot of videos, so if there's something you'd like to learn more about or a video you'd like to see on a car we're working on, just let me know in the comments and I'll put it up as soon as I can. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy watching my videos.
These bolts in here, the breakaway bolts, let me get that out of there. They're a round-headed bolt. What you're gonna do, get you a punch like this or a pick or something like that, good and strong. We get these in sets from Harbor Freight. They've got a little indent on the tip here. You're going to hammer that in to make a little notch on that bolt, and then it's going to turn pretty freely. Once you get it broken, it's pretty easy to spin. This one's a little hard to get to because it's got this plastic around it. What you want to do is hammer kind of straight down first to get a little notch in it that you can then get sideways on. So just go straight down and start putting your punch, pull it back towards you to break it loose. There it is. And then once you get it broken, it's really, you can kind of just do it by hand. You can put another notch on the other side. Just follow your tip around and there it goes. I'm doing it by hand now. Get the other side. This other side is always harder for me. There it went. It's all about the angle on these. I have a little bit more room to work with in here because I already took the cluster out of here because I'm gonna do something with that, so I have a little bit more room. The main difficulty here is the angle. And there it goes. Like I said, once you get them broke, they spin pretty freely. And I'll get that out and show you how to get the rest of it out. Alright, got it out. It basically kind of, after you get these bolts out of the top, just kind of pull on it. It kind of snaps into the onto the steering column. Take a couple harnesses off, and then get it back to your van to do the repair. These ignitions go bad pretty regularly. It's not actually the ignition; it's the steering lock inside of here, and it's going to lock up. You're going to get a lot of calls for repairs for these. And make sure this is the breakaway bolt. Make sure you take this back to your van. When you get in there to start doing the repair, throw this in your vise and grab your Dremel and notch the top of here so you can put these back in with a flathead. It'll save you a bunch of time. Do that first so they can cool off while you're doing your repair, because they're going to get real hot while you're Dremeling on them if you do it last. You're going to burn your hand. Don't ask me why I know that.
Alright, Noble Locksmith fam, we are back on the Toyota or Volkswagen ignition on the bench. So this one's turning. The one you have most likely will not turn, but that's okay. Make yourself a test blade. Like I've said before, we get flip key replacement blades. You know, they're a fraction of the price of like a whole test key full-size blade, and they do the same thing. So your main thing is going to be to get this to turn. Sometimes you can just throw a pair of vice grips on it and wiggle it enough. Sometimes you got to put it in the vise and use use the old hammer, tap it while you're getting a turn. It will turn. It might suck. I say it will turn. I've had one that didn't turn and I had to cut it across here to get it to turn. Whatever it takes, man, to get the job done. So what we're doing right now, I just changed the van. So the first thing we're going to do is search for the damn pin that we use. That dude is starting this video if I can't find it. I meant to put all this stuff together and I don't know what I did with it. So let me look for it and I'll get back. Alright, we're back. I couldn't find the one I like to use, so I made a new one. This is just a key ring. We get the cheapest ones possible. And they're a little bit too thick, so all you gotta do is just shave down the last 1/4 inch. But what you're looking for on here is you have to turn, oops, sorry. You have to get the key, that's your normal position. You have to get the key to turn the ignition to where the gap is lined up with the first dot. Then you're gonna stick your pin, wiggle it down in there, and you got to get it to go to a hole down in there. And it can be a little tricky. You just got to move it around, and then you're going to hear a little click. Boom. Hear that click? There we go. Now leave this in there. Just set this aside and don't mess with it. So my favorite thing to use is this long needle nose pliers and a good old Harbor Freight pick. The first thing you're going to do is pick out this white washer thing, and I like to put them in order of the way I took them out. I've done enough of them now where I know, but early on. So the next piece here, I don't know what you call it, but we're going to set that there. And your next piece has your arm. Sometimes you got to wiggle it around a little bit, like so. Then you can pull your steering lock out of the way, and you dump out your broken pieces. So that's what falls out usually. So that's your problem, because that gets in there and it gets jammed up. I mean, imagine that floating around in an ignition. Not going to do good. So here's the trick. I don't know if you can see that down there, but there's a little nub. It has to do with the steering lock, and you can push it down. So what you're going to do is take your screwdriver, I use a chisel, just set it right on there, one good pop, and there it is. See, it's gone. Some guys like to drill this side out, to drill it all the way out. Give that a try, drilling that out. You'll see. Now what you want to do is push this up in there so it doesn't fall out. It won't fall out, but it just gets it out of the way. And now we got a clean receptacle for everything. So then we're just gonna put everything back together. We're gonna put our steering lock back in place. Now, oh, there's my other broken piece. It was stuck on there with a little bit of grease. So the best thing to do to get this back on there, so this will only go one way. It has to go, I don't know why, but I have spent a long time, many times, trying to get one of these back together. But I found what you want to do is hold the steering lock down, and you have 3 indentions, 1, 2, 3, or 3 little opposite indentions. Here's the indentions. These are the little raised edges. You got 2 indentions together. The biggest one on here, the one with the little spring on it, there, see the biggest indention goes in this one just to the left of the 2. So what I like to do is kind of hold it upside down and wiggle it in, and then you can take your screwdriver or something and kind of wiggle it down in there till you get a good firm in there. And then you want to take it back out. This is good to see because you forgot to put your spring in there. We've got to have that in there first, or this ain't gonna work right. So then let's put this back together. And try again. Alright, once it's in there, you're good. Then you just gotta wiggle it around, press the steering lock down until you get it nice and seated down in there, until you get that good spring. And then of course this only goes back in one way, where you have the 2 side by side. So you're going to push that down in there all the way, and then you have to push the spring down a little bit to get it to seat all the way down in there. So this is obviously what it looked like. You can just do a double check. Everything's turning properly here at this point. Then you're going to bring this guy back over. Of course, your immobilizer plug is going to go back in the same slot. Oh, and this has to be in the right direction. So let's see. Right now it is not in the right direction, so we need to turn this back to that 1 position, and then we're going to slide this in there. You hear that click, and then pull this out, and you just did a Volkswagen steering, Volkswagen ignition assembly repair. Now we warranty this for life. I'll tell you why. One, this really can't be fixed. We call it, most ignition fixes we do are on the ignition lock cylinder. Volkswagens, these just rarely go bad. I've had one go bad. I haven't even tried to take one apart. I don't know if you can. What I do when one of these goes bad is I go to the junkyard, I get the whole assembly, I take this off, I put it on the new one with a new key for the customer. And I've had these parts break, the steering lock part break. If you can't find one, you live in an area like ours, which is very flat, people don't even know what a steering lock is for. If you can't get it back in there and you need to get the customer on the route, this will not hurt it at all. The wheel just won't lock, which most people don't lock their steering wheel anyway on purpose, unless maybe you're in San Francisco or a really hilly area. But your next step is to pop this back in place. I'm not going to show you how to do that because you just took it off, but these are really good money. We warranty them for life because now there's nothing in here that can go bad, right? And that's what we tell the customer we fixed. We fixed your assembly. There was nothing wrong with your steering or your ignition lock cylinder. So hope that helps you guys out, and like or comment or ask any questions. We'll get back to you as soon as possible, and have a great day.